Hi everyone, this is Ian, the lead designer, programmer, and pixel artist for Moonstrider, and this is the first of what should be a series of Moonstrider development vlogs. Now, several reasons that I decided to start doing vlogs. First off, if you are subscribed to the newsletter, well, you'll notice that there hasn't been a newsletter in like 6 weeks or so. Other than the one I should be sending out to let people know that I'm switching to vlogs. The main reason for that is I discovered that I'm really bad at casual writing. I can do fiction pretty well, I can do scientific writing pretty well, but apparently in between, giving info about the game while making sure, it's interesting and like my personality comes across, I find really hard. And there's also, I was a teacher for 2 years in grad school. I taught trigonometry. And so I'm very used to talking to expressing ideas rather than, writing out a big long essay or email or whatever. So, because of that, I'm doing vlogs now. It should be easier for me. I think it's more fun, and yeah. Now, I do also want to do live streaming, and I did do a few couple weeks ago. They were quite fun. I really enjoyed it. The issue is my computer kind of sucks. I can program on this thing and do art no problem, but Moonstrider is a pretty simple 2D game. If I trying to run like 3D stuff on this, it's a Lenovo T440, which isn't a bad computer, but it uses the built-in graphics card, which means that 3D stuff isn't that great, and streaming seemed particularly heavy on the GPU. I don't know if that's true or not, but like whenever it actually run Moonstrider on the stream, it would be like 5 frames per second, which would, not for me, but for the stream, it would be displaying at 5 frames per second, and that's, no one wants to watch a crappy stream like that. So hopefully, once I get a better computer, I will definitely dive right into streaming. But until then, we're doing vlogs. Even afterwards, even with streaming, I'll still probably do vlogs. I'm excited. So speaking of excited, we are going to RTX, that's the Rooster Teeth Expo over in Austin, to show off Moonstrider in about 12 hours, actually, is when we're going to start driving. So it's currently Wednesday, and it starts on Friday. So we're super excited for that. I've been working for the last 2 weeks or so to get a bunch of content in, just to make sure the demo is really fun. Because MomoCon was a fantastic convention, but it was relatively small. And it wasn't gaming focused. There was plenty of gaming, but, it was a lot of, like, anime stuff, too. Whereas RTX is pretty much gaming, with even more attendance. So definitely want to make sure that the game's running great, looking great, all that stuff. We've especially been prioritizing having an actual ending this time. If any of you were at MomoCon and managed to beat the demo, you'll recall that you were greeted with the crash screen of victory, we called it, basically meaning that we hadn't programmed in any, like, win state for the 4th level. So you just kind of went, yeah, crashed, and then someone had to go back behind the booth and reset it. So there's going to be an actual ending this time. I'm almost done with it. I'll have it up and running before Friday. We've got a day and a half, which probably shouldn't say that, but it'll be an ending. There'll be an ending. It won't crash. I know that for sure. We've also been getting the tutorial going. So one thing, again, just what we learned from MomoCon was that, it was kind of fun being able to interact with everyone. But at the same time, when people start the game, they want to kind of dive right in. They don't want people hovering over going, all right, so this button is this button is this. That's boring. You want to dive straight into the action. And we got better at it. We'd teach the whole game in like 30 seconds and be entertaining about it by the end of it. But that still doesn't change the fact that people want to dive right in. So there's an actual tutorial now. It's not like there's hardly any reading, pretty much. Or at least there's no essential reading. There's like dialogue from the character, which will kind of guide you to what to do. But if you don't feel like reading the dialogue, basically this kind of stuff you should be interacting with next is just bright and glowing. And, the key presses are floating and bobbing up on the screen. So I think it's a pretty good tutorial. At the local game developers meetup, there's a few younger kids, like middle schoolers. One of them played through the tutorial, no problems. So, if like a 10-year-old kid can get it. I'm pretty sure most hardcore gamers, which is the main audience of RTX, should be able to just breeze through the tutorial, pick up all the controls, and dive straight in. So I'm super excited about RTX. It's going to be great. Looking forward to it. And I'll probably do another vlog once we get back from that. Last time I intended for MomoCon to take a bunch of pictures and videos, but my camera died. Not making the mistake this time, bringing the charger. Now, as for the actual game, we are hoping for a September release. Now, I'm not committing to that. This is early access release, by the way. I mean, it's going to be about... Yeah, words. We want to... The reason we're aiming for September, we were initially thinking like, around now, August. But we decided to add another month, in part just, in part to make sure we can do marketing and stuff. But really the main reason is that I want to make sure there's enough content in to keep it fun. I mean, a lot of my favorite, a lot of games that I really love, like Nuclear Throne, Darkest Dungeon, those really, really great early access games, they launched making sure there was lots to do and the core gameplay was fun. And I really want to make that happen too. I don't want to just go, alright, here's a game, we've got like 2 levels. To me, that's not what early access is about. It's about saying, all right, here's this thing we're really working hard on. It's not quite done, but we've got lots and lots of fun stuff for you to do, especially with a roguelike. That's one of the things. I think roguelikes really benefit from early access just because then you get the community feedback telling you, hey, this really obscure combination of like 3 items out of like your 50 items is horribly broken, which is something you really can't. You can kind of figure it out, but a little bit beforehand, but there's so many different combinations and tactics that there's no way you can really test everything. There's also going to be 3 playable characters, maybe more, but definitely 3 when it launches, so that should be fun. And actually, it's pretty much content complete for the launch at this point. We've got, I think, there's 1 boss that I think that we're still working on putting in, but, most of the core bosses are in there, most of the core enemies are in there. Planet types, different sun types, all that stuff. So a lot of it that we're doing now is kind of figuring out ways to make everything balanced and encourage exploration. So, one fun thing, if you were at MomoCon or on the newsletter before, you may have played around with it and seen there was an item called the Fuel Refiner, which was horribly, horribly broken. You could basically take like 20 gems or something and turn it into fuel at any time, which meant that at level 3, when you had like 300 gems, you just go, oh, fuel, and never had to worry about actually digging up fuel or anything. A little boring. So what we decided to do was, well, okay, I'm going to take this item, and we're going to take the item, and instead of having it be a pickup item, we're instead going to have like a random chance to spawn like an alien gas pump, like proper, big block with the fuel nozzle. Gas pump on a planet. You can go there, pay some gems, and get some fuel. And the advantage to this is twofold. You can't just have that and constantly spam it in your inventory. Maybe it's nearby you, you're low on fuel but have money, so it's like, well, do I go out of my way to get that? Maybe go fight through that dangerous planet of enemies, risk-reward kind of thing. And it also encourages exploration. You're suddenly like looking around a lot more, trying to find another interesting thing around the galaxy. So, a lot of little stuff like that, making, it's not enough to be balanced, it's also got to be interesting. So, at MomoCon we had like 30 items, and now we still have 30 items, but that's because I pruned like a bunch of boring ones that you couldn't really feel the effect of or weren't fun, and added like, a dozen new ones that are super fun. So now there's like you get hit by like an enemy attack, and you like spray out acid, which does damage. It's, you can feel it because it's like, oh, okay, here's this nice, big dramatic particle effect, pretty much, when you take damage, and you see, a big green slime, and enemies take damage. It's great. I love it. There's also, so one of the things with procedural generation is, after a while, you can definitely start seeing the algorithms behind it. And it doesn't necessarily diminish the fun, but I guess it does kind of diminish the magic, maybe a little bit. Crypt of the Necrodancer, the final level, for example. It's a total square, and if you start in this corner, the boss is in this corner, every single time. So that, to me at least, kind of takes away from the exploration that a lot of some of the earlier levels had in that. So what I'm trying to do, don't get me wrong, I love Crypt and the Necrodancer, that's just, minor little quibble with it, but really, really trying to do different system shapes. So maybe, you'll play through 2 or 3 levels where you've got the normal, okay, there's the sun, planets everywhere. But then maybe you'll get to one where, it's like, all right, well, here's the sun, and it's about to go supernova, and here's like this asteroid belt pretty much that you're trying to frantically find the best path through so you can get the warp gate, and get out before the whole place explodes. Or, maybe instead of a whole system, maybe there's like one just giant planet, covered in crystals and stuff, and you gotta figure out a way off. And in fact, the last level for the RTX demo, it's going to be about probably halfway through the early access things, kind of like the midway point there, I guess. You gotta have an interesting midway point. Is actually going to take place inside a space station. So that was pretty fun. I've been doing a lot of cool art and effects actually, because it's no power, so it's like pitch dark, and you get like little electric crackles giving off light. Lasers give off light. It looks cool. I'm proud of it. I don't want to. I guess I don't want to say it looks cool because of course I'm biased because I made it, but I'm proud of it, I should say. So hopefully you guys think it's cool. I'll probably, you probably don't want to watch 10 minutes of me just talking and waving my hands around as I do. I talk with my hands a lot. So I'll probably, intersperse this with a bunch of screenshots and stuff, maybe concept, some of the concept art, or just raw, pixel art from the game, not, animated in-game or anything, just, GIF or something. But yeah, so that's the current state of Moonstrider. I'm gonna really, really, really try to make these weekly because I'm bad at writing PR, but this is fun. I said fun, this was a fun 10 minutes or so, and I hope you had fun as well, or at least are interested. Feel free to ask me any questions at all about Moonstrider, or whatever, really, in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them. If you ask me, the meaning of life, I probably won't be able to give you anything definitive there, but I'll see what I can do. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, and bye.